Ladies and gentlemen,
live from Atlanta, Georgia, 89 3/4 pounds with a sensational record of 24 wins, no losses. He has 23 big wins coming by way of knockout. Here's the popular and acclaimed 3-time two-division world champion, the hard-hitting, current and undefeated WBA super featherweight and WBA lightweight champion of the world, introducing Gervonta.
The time has come for the main event of the evening. Please welcome the boxers as they make their way to the ring. Here is the undefeated 4-division world champion. First, here is tonight's challenger at boxing's pride of Japan, the sensational, undefeated.
Here is boxing superstar and pound-for-pound great, the acclaimed 4-division world champion,
3-division champion of the world, Naoya, the Monster Inoue.
Salut de puissance de la part de Romeo.
The boxing world has seen monsters before. It has seen knockout artists, champions, and fighters capable of changing history with a single punch. But what happens when two different forms of destruction finally stand across from each other? One fighter built his empire through ruthless precision and non-stop pressure. The other became feared because of the explosive power that can shut the lights out in a heartbeat. Naoya Inoue versus Tank Davis is not a normal fight. This is the kind of collision that creates legends and destroys careers forever. Welcome back to Boxing Vault Pro, where boxing becomes more than a sport and every fight feels like a movie written by destiny itself. Tonight, we enter a world where speed meets timing, pressure meets patience, and two elite champions walk toward a moment capable of changing boxing forever. Naoya Inoue, the monster from Japan, enters carrying a terrifying reputation built through destruction and flawless championship performances. Across the ring stands Tank Davis, one of the most feared knockout artists alive, a man who can remain silent for minutes before ending everything in a single second. Different styles, different journeys, but only one path leads to greatness. And when these two finally hear the opening bell, there will be nowhere left to run. Nobody expected this conversation to become real, but once the words Naoya Inoue versus Tank Davis enter the boxing world, everything suddenly feels different. This is not just a dream fight anymore. It feels like a collision between two dangerous forces moving toward the same point of impact. Fans imagine speed, destruction, and elite performance meeting under the brightest lights in combat sports. The energy surrounding this matchup feels electric because both men built careers by turning confidence into violence and pressure into unforgettable championship moments. Naoya Inoue enters this fight, carrying the terrifying reputation of a fighter who breaks opponents physically and mentally. Known around the world as the Monster, Inoue built his legacy through championship dominance, brutal knockout power, and technical perfection that rarely leaves room for mistakes. His unforgettable victories over Stephen Fulton and Nonito Donaire proved he can destroy elite fighters under pressure. Inoue attacks with precision, timing, and body shots that slowly drain life from opponents, although size differences could create serious questions in a matchup like this. Across the ring stands Tank Davis, one of boxing's most dangerous knockout artists, and a fighter whose calm expression hides devastating power. Tank became a superstar through explosive performances against Ryan Garcia, Leo Santa Cruz, and dangerous challengers who underestimated his ability to end fights instantly. He studies opponents like a hunter, waiting patiently in silence before attacking without warning. His defensive movement, counterpunching, and elite timing make him terrifying, although some critics question periods of inactivity and lower punch volume during strategic championship fights. Once the opening bell sounds, the atmosphere immediately changes. Inoue begins pressing forward behind a disciplined guard, stepping carefully while firing quick combinations toward Tank's body and head. Thousands inside the arena explode with noise every time punches land. Tank remains patient and relaxed, barely moving backward while watching every movement carefully. The first rounds become a fascinating boxing analysis battle because neither fighter wants to reveal everything too early. Two predators stand inches apart, waiting for the smallest mistake to change history. Then the tension starts rising dramatically. Inoue increases the pace and begins attacking with sharp combinations designed to force Tank into uncomfortable exchanges. Punches begin landing cleaner and the crowd suddenly rises from their seats. Slow-motion replay captures sweat exploding through the air as Inoue lands a hard right hand across Tank's jaw. But Tank does not panic. He simply smiles, takes one step backward, and stares directly into Inoue's eyes, as if silently promising that something dangerous is coming later. The middle rounds transform this fight into complete warfare. Tank finally opens up with heavy counters and explosive left hands that shake the arena every time they land. Inoue answers immediately with pressure and relentless combinations, refusing to give away momentum. Then the turning point arrives. Tank slips a punch and fires a crushing counter that freezes everyone watching. Slow-motion replay shows Inoue's head snapping backward beneath the lights. For a moment, thousands of fans stop breathing, because this moment changes everything inside the fight. But champions become legendary because of how they react under pressure. Inoue recovers and immediately returns to work, proving why his mentality separates him from ordinary fighters. He refuses to retreat and starts targeting Tank's body with ruthless precision. Every punch carries purpose, and every movement looks calculated. Ringside analysts begin debating whether Tank's explosive knockout power can survive against endless pressure and championship conditioning. Suddenly, momentum shifts again, and nobody inside the building knows who truly controls the battle anymore. Now the fight becomes less about punches and more about intelligence. Tank Davis starts making adjustments by changing angles and slowing the pace, forcing Inoue into uncomfortable positions. Inoue responds with footwork and rapid combinations that prevent Tank from finding easy opportunities. This becomes a masterclass in championship-level ring IQ and elite performance under extreme pressure. Power faces speed, patience meets aggression, timing challenges volume. Every exchange feels important, because one wrong decision could instantly destroy years of hard work and legacy. As the championship rounds arrive, exhaustion slowly begins entering the picture. Inoue still moves forward, but his pace drops slightly after absorbing dangerous counters throughout the fight. Tank breathes heavily while trying to maintain distance and preserve energy for another explosive moment. Suddenly, both men meet in the center of the ring and unload violent combinations at exactly the same time. Slow-motion replay captures gloves crashing against faces and sweat flying through the air while the audience completely loses control emotionally. Heading toward the final rounds, prediction analysis becomes almost impossible, because both fighters possess realistic paths toward victory. If Tank lands one clean counter at the perfect moment, his devastating knockout power could instantly finish the fight. But if Inoue continues controlling pressure and maintaining his pace, judges could reward his activity and technical dominance. There is also upset potential through accumulated damage, because both men absorb punishment differently. The uncertainty surrounding this fight makes every second feel dangerous and impossible to predict. No matter who wins, this battle already feels larger than belts and rankings. Naoya Inoue and Tank Davis represent two different forms of greatness that fans dreamed about for years. One fighter built his legacy through relentless pressure and precision, while the other became feared because of sudden violence and explosive timing. When the final bell rings, only one man walks away with victory, but both fighters leave behind a fight breakdown that could become one of boxing's most unforgettable cinematic stories. Outro A's the lights slowly fade and the crowd finally finds its breath again. One question remains inside every boxing fan's mind. What would really happen if these two forces of nature ever shared the same ring? Would Tank Davis unleash the kind of knockout power that instantly changes history? Or would Naoya Inoue break another champion with pressure, precision, and championship-level brilliance? Some fights create champions. Some fights create legends. But fights like this become stories people never stop talking about. This is Boxing Vault Pro, and remember one thing: history is never written before the first punch lands.